Okay guys, so we're gonna start off by cutting this end, making sure that it's nice and straight. So I'm about to cut off around 2 inches on this side to be sure that my tool material is straight on both sides. Then I'm gonna go to the other side, measure down 18 inches and cut that side also. You're gonna be left with an extra piece. Maybe you can use it to add to a baby onesie or make a preemie or an infant tutu, but I'm just gonna fold it and put it to the side for now. From here, we're gonna take this material to the machine like you see, and it is folded over. Remember, we cut it 18 inches long, but right now it's 9 inches because we folded it over in half. So you would have, it seemed like 4 pieces, but it's two 18-inch pieces that we folded over, and now they're 9 inches, and we sew in the waistband. I'm sewing this waistband for a 1-inch size elastic, so you want to keep that waistband sewing consistent. On most machines, you would have a marker by the pressure plate where it shows a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch. So it would help you keep as you stitch, keep it straight. Also, as you sew, you want to, make sure that you keep those 4 raw edges as even as possible. That's the side that you will be sewing your ribbons onto, but you just want to keep them as even as you can, as even as possible. So I am opening it out, making sure that they're even, folding it back over, and then start sewing that waistband again. And again, I'm using that marker on my pressure plate to keep my waistband consistent in size to accommodate my 1-inch elastic. And honestly guys, this is the longest part of creating a tutu or making a tutu. It's the cutting and the sewing of the waistband. Once you get that done, it's so much easier to sew the ribbons on. Okay, so this is my 1-inch elastic that I'm going to put on my tutu. So the way I pin my elastic, I would put 1 pin sideways and pin the other side of the elastic, put the pin in straight. Why I do that is to prevent the elastic from sliding all the way through when I'm threading it through my waistband. So the side that is pinned sideways would prevent the elastic from going all the way through. So as you can see, this side I'm going to pin it sideways, and the other side I'm going to put my pin in straight to help guide that elastic through. Okay, so now as you get ready to guide it, you make sure that you get it between that fold, because remember you had 2 pieces that you folded over. So now you have a fold. You need to get that elastic in that fold, as you can see, or in that loop. Get it in there. Just take your time and get it in there at first. Once you get it in nicely, and you know, because you don't want to pop the thread on your waistband, once you get it in, then it's smooth sailing from there. Again, once you get it in the front part, then it's much easier to pull it through the waistband, guide it through the waistband from there. Once I complete running the elastic through, I would pin my elastic and stitch it down on the machine. Use the machine and stitch it all the way down. So I would overlap. I'm overlapping when I'm done with this. Right now I'm still threading it through. So once I'm finished, as I am here, then I'll stitch it down. Okay, so I want to show you guys real quick. Okay, see the pin that's sideways? It prevents that, you know, because it would be horrible that you do go through all that, run the elastic through, and then it pulls all the way through. So that pin prevents it. From here, I'm gonna overlap the elastic and stitch it down. Okay, so I'm gonna overlap the elastic, pin it to hold it in place while I'm stitching it down on the machine. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna put a pin to hold it while I stitch it down. A general rule of thumb, guys, try and use the thread, the color of the elastic. I was just being lazy right now, and I did not change my thread out, and I just sew my elastic together in orange thread. You want to sew it probably in white. Seeing that the elastic was white, you're probably gonna want to sew it in white. That way you don't see it through the tutu. I mean, you're not gonna see it because the tutu is super full. But a general rule of thumb, you just want to do that. So mine is in orange, and you remove the pins at this point, and you know, gather your tutu together. Make sure it's filled out, and from here we are gonna go ahead and add our ribbons, which is really the fun part, right? That's the fun part. Like, I look forward to this part, adding my ribbons. This is gonna be a triple layer tutu. So my top layer, remember you got 4 pieces of tulle, so you're gonna separate it in 2. And my first top layer, I'm adding polka dot black and white with yellow ribbons. This is my gross grain polka dot, and because the design or the pattern is on one side, you want to make sure that your pattern side is facing downwards. Okay, your satin, okay, let me back up. Your ribbons, to make sure that they don't fray, make sure and burn them. Okay, you burn the edges to make sure they don't fray. And what is fraying means? That means that if you don't burn it, the ribbon are gonna unwind, or however the yarn is made is gonna keep going. It's gonna undo. So as you can see, I have my pattern ribbon to facing downwards. The yellow is a double-faced satin, so I don't have to worry if it's facing downwards or upwards. because the same thing on both sides. But if you have a pattern ribbon, you want to make sure that that is facing downwards, or else when you sew it on your tutu and you pick your tutu up and you flip your tutu over, that pattern is going to be facing inwards. You're going to see the back part of the ribbon. So make sure and face your pattern down, face down. When I say downwards, I mean face down. Okay, and from here I'm gonna just sew the ribbon on to 2 layers, and then the other 2 layers gonna be my bottom layer, where I'm gonna use to sew on my orange ribbon. So here, as you can see, I am sewing my polka dot black and orange, yellow, sorry. So like I said, I'm gonna sew these ribbons on, and then I'm gonna sew the orange. So I'm gonna be silent and just let the video run. This is the finished tutu. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoy making the tutu, and I'll see you on the next one.